What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Thank y'all so much for joining. Guys, we have reached the end of the game. The game just ended about, 10 minutes or so ago between the Minnesota Lynx and the Chicago Sky. The final score is on the screen. We have the Minnesota Lynx winning this game 79 to the Chicago Sky's 74. Now we're going to break this game down, do sort of a post-game recap about what this game was, what happened, why ultimately we have the results that we have, and what is going to be going forward. All right. So guys, as you all know, I am a Sky fan. So, but as always, I try to be pretty straightforward with my commentary and whatnot. And guys, I want to say that as a Sky fan, this game was not bad for the Chicago Sky. This was not a bad game at all against the best team in the WNBA. All right, not a bad game at all. For the Minnesota Lynx, this was a terrible game. This was a terrible game for the Minnesota Lynx. For the Chicago Sky, this was a good game. You ended up losing by only 5 points against the Minnesota Lynx. This is a team that is extremely good, right? Top of the WNBA. So in terms of what this means for the Sky going forward, I think it means that you can hang. You can hang. You can hang. We had this game close basically throughout the entire game. The reason why is because from early in the game, in that first quarter, I believe Camila Cardoso had, I think, like 11 points or something like that. Like she was getting the ball in position to score in that first quarter, and that was the difference, guys. When we talk about the Chicago Sky team, the Chicago Sky is not a team that has shooters, right? You got Kennedy Carter, who can score and make stuff happen, but she has COVID. Guys, just so y'all know, health and safety protocols, which is technically what Kennedy Carter is on. She is out due to health and safety protocols. In the world of the vid, health and safety protocol for basically every single American team sport, that means they have COVID. That's what that means. All right. I saw some people online confused and saying like, "Hey, why isn't the Sky being more upfront about Kennedy Carter?" Kennedy Carter has COVID, guys. That's what health and safety protocol means. If you ever hear the NBA say health and safety protocols, that's what it means. If you hear the NFL say it, that's what it means. That is what it means. If it is not COVID, they will say a non-COVID illness. Okay? Okay. All right, so basically the Chicago Sky don't really have shooters. And you have to rely on your bigs to kind of do everything. And in this game, Camila Cardoso and Angel Reese had really, really good games in this one. Now, first, I do want to start off. Talking about Camila Cardoso in particular, because I thought that Camila played fantastic in this game. Camila played absolutely fan-freaking-tastic, guys. She finished with a career high so far in her rookie season. She had 22 points in this game, 7 of 11 from the field, so very, very efficient numbers. She was also passing the ball really well. Also, she finished the game with only basically Camila Cardoso kind of did a little bit of everything for this team, and was for sure the reason why the Chicago Sky was even in this game. She did finish with 9 rebounds as well, just 1 assist, but she did pass the ball well. But Camila Cardoso, if you want to win, you establish the post early. That's what this guy did in that first quarter, and then surprise, surprise, the guards stopped passing the ball. The guards start doing what the guards do, and we see the result that we see. Okay. Ultimately, we see the results that we see. So that's the thing. I thought Camila was fantastic. Once again, Camila was fantastic in today's game. But it's all about Camila getting touches. If Camila does not get touches, it's hard for her to do anything. It's hard for her to do something if she doesn't see the ball for the majority of the game. Camila shot better than every single player for the Chicago Sky. Every single player. Camila shot better. All right? From the field, she shot better than everybody else. And yet, she wasn't sort of continually getting the basketball. She wasn't. I think that's an issue. I think that's an issue with this team where you know what's successful, you know what works, and you just don't go to it. You just don't go to it. There was only one player that had a better field goal percentage than Camila today on both teams. Courtney Williams, which I'm going to talk about more in a sec, but Courtney Williams had a fantastic game. She shot very efficiently. She shot 68% from the field. Second best field goal percentage in this game was Camila Cardoso. And Camila Cardoso didn't get the ball in positions to score like that. She didn't. Yeah, she did at the beginning of the game, and then they stopped going to her. That's an issue. That is an absolute issue. And we gotta see that get better. We gotta see that get better. Seriously. Camila Cardoso only had 11 field goal attempts. This is your best scorer today. Your best scorer had 11 looks, and she shot efficiently, 7 of 11. And you just saw what was working. You saw it be successful, and then you just go away from it. You go away from it because you're like, oh no, I think the guards got it. I think the guards got it. The guards know what they're doing. And then we see the results. Ultimately, it sort of is what it is. I'm gonna go back and forth between the Sky and the Lynx. So I talked about Camila. I like really high key talked real quick about Courtney Williams, but I want to talk more about her. Guys, Courtney Williams. If you all don't know, she did play for the Chicago Sky last year. She plays for the Minnesota Lynx this year. She has been one of those players who has transitioned from being sort of like a combo shooting guard type of player, who was like really, really killer on the mid range into a player who can facilitate and a player who can be a point guard. Is she a true point guard? No, she's not. Courtney Williams is not a true point guard, but she is exactly the point guard that the Minnesota Lynx need. She is a player who can just do her thing in the mid-range game. I call her the mid-range assassin because that's exactly what she is, or the mid-range queen. Like that's like Courtney Williams, her favorite spot on the court is that spot between sort of like the distance, like free throw distance to the 3-point line. That is her sweet spot for Courtney Williams. And I thought, once again, she continues to just show that she is an elite scorer in the WNBA when she wants to be. When she wants to be, she can absolutely hit shots and make stuff happen. She ultimately finished the game with 22 points for Courtney Williams. Again, she shot very efficiently, 68% from the field. She did her thing passing as well with 6 assists. She just, overall, she does a really, really good job at knowing the personnel on the floor, knowing how to give them the ball, knowing when exactly she should take over, and just making the right decisions at the right time, taking care of the basketball and not making too many mistakes, guys. When I talk about point guards in the WNBA, there are true point guards. There are point guards out of necessity. And there are players who are pretending to be point guards and they're not point guards. That's sort of That's sort of what it is in the W. That's sort of how I see it generally. Um, and Courtney Williams is not a true point guard, but she is a point guard out of necessity. And she does a darn good job at it. She does a darn good job at it. She is a player who it seemed kind of had to learn generally how to be a facilitator, learn how to get the ball to her teammates when they in positions where they can be successful. She really started doing that last year with the Sky when she got that assignment of being PG1 for the Sky. She then in the offseason decides to go to the Minnesota Lynx, and Reese saw what Courtney Williams did for the Chicago Sky and was like, yeah, do that more, but I'm going to give you more talent. I'm going to give you more talent. All right, you're going to have Nafisa Collier, you're going to have Kayla McBride as your teammates. Go to work. And Courtney Williams has gone to work. She has absolutely gone to work. And I just continue to love her game. Not just what Courtney Williams is able to do on the offensive end in terms of scoring and in terms of assists, but also I think Courtney Williams is a pretty good defender. I think she is a pretty good defender that is scrappy, that is just available to do whatever her team needs her to do to be successful. And so Courtney Williams, a huge shout out to her. I thought she had a fantastic game, and in a game where Nafisa Collier was not her normal Nafisa Collier self, right? She wasn't. Part of that was the defense. I would absolutely say part of that was the defense that the Chicago Sky had against her. But in a game where your best player in Nafisa Collier wasn't her normal self, you had your point guard step up and step out for the Minnesota Lynx, and that's what ultimately kind of helped them to get this dub. I talked about Fee a little bit. I want to talk about her a little bit more, guys. Did you all know that as of the end of today's game, Nafisa Collier is second all time in blocks in Minnesota Lynx history? So that is kind of cool. Kind of cool for the player known as Nafisa Collier. I thought she didn't have the best of games today, but Nafisa Collier ultimately did finish the game with 15 points, 2 block shots, 2 assists, and 5 rebounds. Again, not that efficient at all. She shot 31% from the field, which is very, very, very uncharacteristic for Nafisa Collier. But still, like, really, really, really good player. And it just says something that a bad game is still 15 points. It's still a really good game for just about everybody else. But I will say though that again, I do think that the defense that Chicago's bigs were able to front, I do think that helped a lot. I really do. All right, let's continue on. Let's continue on with the recap of this game. So guys, I want to just talk through. I just want to talk through the quarters and sort of like the themes of the game. I want to talk through the themes. So when we talk about this game, this was a close game, a very, very, very close game. Also, if y'all could please do me a huge favor and hit that like button, that really does help the channel out a whole lot. Hit that like button for me one time. That would be awesome. Okay. All right, so in the first quarter, I would say really good quarter for the Chicago Sky. They established the post, and I thought they did a pretty good job in not getting ran over in that first quarter. Second quarter comes, the Chicago Sky forget how to score, but it's fine because the Minnesota Lynx can't hit nothing either. They couldn't hit anything in that second quarter. So it was sort of like a wash. The second quarter was like whatever. It didn't really matter. Third quarter, the Sky started to get it together. They started to, again, go back to the post a little bit, kind of. And in the fourth quarter, well, second half really, we saw Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams saying that, hey, we're not losing. We are not about to lose this game. And ultimately, they were the team that were able to close it out, even though the Chicago Sky did score more points than the Minnesota Lynx in that fourth quarter, but it was not enough. It was not enough at all. At all. So that's the thing, guys. That is sort of like the general recap. But the game ended on a very Sky thing. It ended on a very, 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 very Sky thing. All right, here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. The last play for the Chicago Sky versus the Minnesota Lynx. All right, so the Sky had the basketball. There were a couple seconds left on the shot clock, right? So the game, it was what was it? It was a 5-point game at that point. Yeah, 70. It was ultimately the final score: 74 Chicago Sky, 79 Minnesota Lynx. All right, Sky call a timeout. They first call a regular full timeout. They talk it over, and then it seems like they must have had to call another timeout, because right after they got out of that first timeout, they then called a reset timeout, and so they had the ball in the front half. All right, 18 seconds left to go, 5-point game. Unlikely that you're gonna win it, but who knows? Who knows what can possibly happen? Ball gets inbounded. Dana Evans has the basketball. And actually I'm gonna pull that up and talk through it as it was happening. Because guys, when I was watching that play sort of unfold, I was like, what are you doing? What is going on? Guys, I was a bit frustrated about that game. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit frustrated about that final play, because I was not expecting the Sky to win. That was not what I was expecting, right? I was not expecting them to win at all. But I was expecting a better final play than what I saw, because again, with the Chicago Sky, sometimes we see them come out of a timeout, and whatever is drawn up, there is a lot of stuff drawn up. Teaspoon is on her clipboard, and that marker is moving. She is working on that clipboard. She's working, and then we see the team laying egg. We see them laying egg. So Dana inbounded the ball. She got it to Lindsay Allen. The ball ultimately went back to Dana Evans. Dana was dribble. Oh, let me try to pass it back to Lindsay Allen. She threw it out of bounds, and that was the end of that. So here's the thing, guys. The Chicago Sky, I can guarantee y'all, the play that the Chicago Sky drew up was for man-to-man. Because if you all noticed, I don't know if y'all noticed, as that sort of play was evolving, it looked like the Minnesota Lynx were man-to-man. It looked like they were man-to-man to start off. But then we saw that they were actually a zone. They were actually, in that last play, I think that was the first, I don't know. I can't remember them doing another zone in the game. But they did a zone to end out the game, which was smart on their part, because again, it just shows you how great of a coach Cheryl Reeve is. She's like, hey, you know what? They're probably drawing something up for a whole bunch of screens to get 3-point shooters open and whatnot. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a zone. We're going to do a zone so we can get rid of any advantage they think they may have. And it was smart. It was smart. The way that when it was inbounded, it looked like it was going to be man-to-man, but it wasn't. It was zone. And so they were running a play. They were running a double screen. What the Sky was trying to do, they were trying to run a double screen for Dana Evans. Dana inbounded the basketball. She gave it to Lindsay Allen at the top of the key. Lindsay Allen was supposed to give it back to Dana, because Dana was supposed to run through the lane all the way to the other side, get a double screen by the bigs, and then end up with a wide open 3-point shot. That was the play, guys. From just sort of observing what was happening on the court. That was the play that they were trying to run. That was the play. But when Dana Evans got the basketball, she had a man on her because, ding, 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 they were not playing man-to-man. The play that they drew up was only for, no, they were playing zone. The play that they drew up was only for man-to-man. That was the play. That was the play that was ran. That was the purpose of the play. All right? Double screen, Dana Evans hits a three-point shot. That was the point. But they didn't factor his own. And so when Dana Evans gets the ball, she's like, oh, crap, oh, crap, oh, crap. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And she's like, okay, let me get it back to Lindsay. And then threw the ball away and turnover. Dana didn't feel confident to just quickly fire off a three. So she dribbled and then threw it away. And ultimately, it was a very, very, very Chicago Sky play. For the last several games, we have an opportunity to possibly, long shot. You know, I wasn't expecting the Sky to win this game from that last play. But you never know. You never quite know. And ultimately, we see a very Chicago play. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's get to y'all comments, and then I'm gonna talk about Angel Reese because Angel made more history in today's game, and we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna get into more analysis about the game. But I just wanted to break down that last play because I thought it seemed like the play they were running was obvious, and it was genius tactical move by Cheryl Reeve by Cheryl Reeve to call for the zone instead of the man. Genius. And it absolutely broke up what the Sky was scheming and planning to do because it just couldn't work. Let's look at our comments. A book olive, I think. Quita says, I wish you were giving your commentary on the Fever/Wings game. The people calling the game players praise Rike for everything, including hissy fits, and is making the game borderline unwatchable. A book olive or whatever. Sorry, I don't know how to really pronounce your handle name, but anyway, that game, I was watching that game alongside the Sky game because I had both games up. That game is done. Dallas Wings commentators commentate that game. All right. So it's a home broadcast that's being nationally that's being aired for the nation to watch. So it makes sense that they're homers for their team. So yeah, I don't think that's not unheard of, right? If this was a national game done by a national network with national broadcasters, then yeah, sure, they should be a lot more unbiased than that. But this is Dallas's game, right? This is using Dallas's commentators. Like, this is what they do. Like, they're of course they know the Dallas Wings players very, very well. And their commentary is going to reflect that. I don't think that's a big deal at all. If you listen to the Seattle Storm broadcast, you could I think the Seattle Storm broadcast is probably like the most entertaining of them all because they're very, 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 very pro Seattle. Dallas is pro Dallas, Chicago, I guess maybe they do lean a little bit Chicago, I guess. LA is pro LA. The Connecticut Sun broadcast, same thing. It's, so yeah. Anyway, that's sort of my thoughts there. I don't think that's a big deal. Like, I think it's just a thing that it just happens. Thank you so much, Tool Restoration for the super sticker. It is an open eye with the word sneak peek. All right, appreciate you, for that super sticker. Really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. So here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. All right. Courtney Williams has a really good game in this one. For the Minnesota Lynx, Nafisa does not have a good game, but still does her thing for the Lynx. You also had Kayla McBride. K-Mac made a little bit more of history. She jumped a little bit up on the all-time WNBA three-point made leaderboard. So that's kind of cool. Guys, now Kayla McBride is number 9 on the list of three-point baskets made, which is kind of cool. So, of course, number 1 is Diana Taurasi because, she's Diana. That's Diana, one of her signature things is signature three-pointers, right? That's her thing, right? Then you got Sue Bird, Katie Smith, Becky Hammond, Tina Thompson, Katie Douglas, Chrissy Tolliver, DeWanna Bonner, and now you have Kayla McBride. So I just want to do a quick shout out to K-Mac because Kayla McBride has been around for a while. She's been around in the WNBA for a long while, and she is still making her presence known. Today, she finished with 17 points in today's game. She was 2 of 6 from the three-point line. And yeah, Kayla McBride, one of the reasons why the Minnesota Lynx is at the top of the WNBA right now. One of the reasons is because you have so much scoring from different facets, right? You got your best player in Nafisa Collier, who can just about get anything she wants to get in the post and even three-point shots. You have a three-point assassin in Kayla McBride when she gets hot, ooh, you can't cool off, right? Y'all remember those games early this season when K-Mac was just firing three-point shots, hitting 5 three-point baskets a game and whatnot for a pretty decent stretch, right? She is a player who can get going. When she gets going, she really, really, really gets going. Also, guys, you also have a point guard who can score in the mid-range like crazy with Courtney Williams. You also have another post player who is really good defensively, also can get buckets as well in Atlanta Smith, who is out. Atlanta Smith is actually injured. She did not play. She's dealing with an ankle injury, so she did not play in today's game. But she's a huge reason why this team is doing what they're doing for the Minnesota Lynx. Atlanta Smith is fantastic, but she didn't play in today's game. Instead of her playing, we had UConn's own Dorka Juhas who played in today's game. And I thought she did a good job. I thought she did a good job getting inserted into that starting lineup and just not being a liability for her team, right? She did exactly what she needed to do. Defensively, yes, she could be better. She could be better defensively. But I thought she did great, considering her getting inserted into the starting lineup. Like, I think there's sort of levels to it. She exceeded my expectations about how she was able to play against the bigs of the Chicago Sky. Getting inserted in that starting lineup. Because guys, Dorka Juhas played 30 minutes in today's game. She played 30 minutes. Like that's a lot. That's a lot for a bench player. That's quite a lot for a bench player. And so that's a thing, and I wanted to just highlight that because usually she plays like 16, 15, 16 minutes a game. So for her to play double that, and have to play against some skilled bigs was a lot for her to handle, and I thought she did hold her own, even though yes, she does need to get a little bit better on the defensive end. Now, I did want to close out this sort of recap show talking about the history that was made, guys. Angel Reese. continues to make history in the WNBA. Like this is what she's done. She made history when she was in college, right? On the rebounding front. She in the WNBA, she has made history as a player who can absolutely rebound the basketball, and she can do it at a better clip than anybody else in the WNBA ever, guys. Today we saw Angel Reese score some baskets. She ultimately ended the game with 17 points, 20 rebounds, 3 assists in today's game. Now, when we think about Angel and what she does, yes, she is a player that absolutely can and needs to get better on her field goals, right? You know, she does miss some shots that she should miss. She should make. However, her effort was huge in today's game. Absolutely huge. Yes, she does ultimately end up with shooting only 6 of 16 from the field. So like, yes, absolutely does need to get improvement. But she absolutely did her thing in today's game. In terms of being a factor, she played 38 of 40 minutes. She was hustling for the most part the whole time. She made all her free throws, which is very important for bigs. She's 5 of 5 from the free throw line. There is a little bit of a discrepancy, which is kind of weird. There's a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of how many rebounds she actually had. According to ESPN, they have her at 19. The W actually has her at 19 as well, but the Chicago Sky have her at 21 rebounds. So I'm not quite sure. I don't know if it's 19 that she had today or if it's 20 that the Chicago Sky is saying. So one or the other. Either way, she has surpassed Sylvia Fowles as the player with the most ever in WNBA history, the most rebounds in a single season, guys. You can say whatever you want about Angel Reese. You can talk about her miss field goals and whatnot. You can talk about all that stuff, but there is no denying, absolutely no denying, that we are seeing history in the making with Angel Reese and her ability to rebound the basketball. We are, guys. We are seeing history. All right. Not only did Angel hit the record for the single season rebounding record. Not only that, she also today now owns the single season offensive rebounding record. All right. She has surpassed 163 offensive rebounds. And the last time someone made the record for offensive rebounds in a single season, that was in 2001 with Yolanda Griffith, which WNBA legend for sure. I will be doing a recap about her because I really did like Yolanda Griffith. That was in 2001, guys. 2001, Yolanda Griffith had 162 offensive rebounds in that season in 2001. And since 2001, nobody has ever gotten that mark. Until now, with Angel Reese with 162 and counting. So, you know, when we talk about the WNBA, when we talk about you know, what history means and the fact that these rookies are making records, setting history left and right. You know, I'm gonna recap the Fever game later. We're gonna talk about that. But what Angel Reese is doing is historic, and it needs to be talked about, right? Because it is historic, guys. In terms of overall rebounds, Angel has surpassed 100 or 405 rebounds for the season. She surpassed that mark. And guys, the last person to set the record for single season rebounds was Sylvia Fowles. Sylvia Fowles hit that record in 2018. All right, so from 2018 to now, no one has hit that record. All right, Sylvia Fowles had 404 rebounds in 2018. 404. Ever since then, nobody has gotten that. So for all the people who say that, all this stuff about Angel, how she's trash and how she's not good enough to be in the WNBA, which people have said that. I have seen it. People who say, oh, she needs to be on the bench. She's terrible. All this stuff, yada, yada, yada. Literally, nobody up until Angel Reese has gotten to 405 rebounds. Nobody. All right? Sylvia Fowles set the record in 2018 with 404. No one has gotten more than that. No one. And so that's huge. Angel Reese has gotten more rebounds than 6'9" Brittany Griner, Tierra McCowan, which I can't even remember how tall she is, with the Dallas Wings, Asia Wilson, go down the rabbit hole. Go down the rabbit hole of the various bigs, Ezzy Magmagor, Aneka Agumake, Jonquel Jones. Angel Reese, as a rookie, has more rebounds than them. You look at some of the historic bigs that we've had in the WNBA, and Angel Reese, as a rookie, just surpassed it. So say what you want. Say what you want about her and her shooting, which she does need to get better at. This is not me saying that her shooting is great. It's not. It's a problem. It needs to get better. But her will to rebound, her timing on when she needs to jump is huge. It is legendary. It is historic. It is. Regardless of if you want to admit it or not, it is historic. And no, she is not stat padding. Guys, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I said this in my stream. After the game against the Indiana Fever with the Sky. Angel was in garbage minutes against the Fever. But I want to let you all know why. The reason why was because Izzy, who is another post bench player, Izzy had her mask on the Chicago Sky bench at the end of the game. There was not enough bench players to have all of the starters sit on the bench at the end of the game. There wasn't enough bench players for that to happen against the Indiana Fever. Because Izzy, who would have came in the game, but she had a mask on. She wasn't coming back in. She wasn't. She was gonna hang out on the bench for the rest of the game. And Angel, who seems to always be like, okay, well, you can leave me in if you want to. She stayed in the game. I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know what else the Chicago Sky could have did. They didn't have another player to put in for Angel. They didn't. They didn't have another player that they could put in. So guys, I just don't, the idea that she was stat padding in that game against the Fever, it's just not true. Future says she couldn't, about Izzy. She could have, but she obviously didn't want to. And the Sky coaching was not going to force her to. So what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? I'm just saying, guys. Like, I think that I think that people are very, very unreasonable. Very, very, very unreasonable. And they want to think the worst out of every situation. Like you just want it to be something negative. You just want it to be. And the funny thing is, guys, the funny thing is for a player that was supposedly stat padding in that Fever game, she played the same minutes as Caitlin. She played 32 minutes in that game, and Caitlin played 32 minutes. Who's stat padding? They played the same exact minutes, guys. I just don't get it. I just don't. It is the intentional negative worst case scenario sort of thought process for people is just wild to me sometimes. It's like you don't have to think of, oh my God, what is the worst possible way that I can view this thing? What is the worst possible way to diminish anything this girl has ever done? What is the worst possible way? And then you just do it. I just don't. It makes no sense, guys. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So you know, it is what it is. And the thing is, like, it's not even like I'm like, oh, because Angel's on the Chicago Sky, I have to think of a positive way to spend stuff. No. If you know anything about me on this channel, you know that I call it however I see it. I call it like I see it. If I see something, I'm going to say something, right? If I see certain stuff happening, I'm going to say it. If I think it's stat padded, I'm going to say it's stat padded. There was a game earlier this season that I did feel like Angel was stat padded. It was, I forgot, it was a home game. She had, I can't remember if she had one more assist or no, one more point that she needed. And then she ended up getting fouled. She ended up getting fouled. And then she made her free throws to get the double-double. It was when she was on that double-double streak. There was a game that I was like, oh, well, y'all intentionally did that to get her but also players do, like, teams and players do that all the time to sort of get players certain records. But like, to just say it like, oh, it doesn't actually exist, but I'm gonna say she's stat padding just because I see her on the court and no other bench players are in there. Or all other bench players are in there, but you didn't realize that, like, who was on the bench and who had their mask on, who was not coming back in the game. So I'm just, I call it like I see it, and I feel like people are intentionally trying to believe and say the worst because it's fun. I guess it's fun. I guess it's fun to think worst case scenario about everything besides certain things that you like, and then no worst case scenario. So I'm just saying. Yeah, I think it's pretty. I think it is pretty funny, how people do certain people. But guys, that's basically the game right there. I did just want to talk about it, because. Yeah, I thought for the Chicago Sky This was a way better game overall than what we played against the Indiana Fever. It's just amazing. It is just amazing how the Chicago Sky can play like trash against the Indiana Fever, but yet, you can play really, really well against the best team in the W. The logic of it for the Chicago Sky to me makes no sense. but that is the what is it called? Oxymoron? Or is it an oxymoron? I think that's just sort of what you would say about that, because this is a team that against teams that they should be playing, they should be kind of neck and neck to, you don't play well. And against a team that you shouldn't play well, you rise to the occasion and you play well, and you have an opportunity at the end of the game to actually win the game. So I'm not upset. I'm not, because I thought that the Sky played well today. I did. Yes, they lose again. Yeah, I would love for them to get that win. They do lose, but ultimately, I thought they played well. And if they will just continue to pass the ball in the post, you have an opportunity. But if you keep giving the ball to your guards and letting your guards just sort of dance around and dribble, you wind up messing up. You wind up messing up big time. And ultimately, we ultimately see what we see. I think that the Minnesota Lynx played not so well today. They didn't. They did not play very well today. But ultimately, when you are the best team in the WNBA, even when you don't play your best, you still have a good chance to win. You do. You have a good chance to win, and that's exactly what this team did. The Minnesota Lynx are continuing to roll. They have won 8 of their last 10 games, which is pretty awesome for them. We got some super chats. Thank you so much, Road 2, for the super chat. Says, Quita, thanks for always reporting facts. The ones saying negative things are not students of the game, just casual viewers. Thanks so much for the super chat. Really do appreciate that. Seti, what's up, Seti? Thank you so much for the super chat. Says, also, she is a rookie. She is breaking records. Records as a rookie. People were saying her game would not translate. She is doing 100 times better than expected. Her efficiency is going to be better. Yeah. I mean, she definitely is playing way better than I expected. Guys, coming into this season, I didn't think Angel was going to be starting. I had Izzy started. If y'all go all the way back to preseason, when I was doing a preview about the Sky, I said by the end of the year, I thought the Angel could start. I didn't think the Angel was going to start. I didn't know. I didn't think the Angel was going to be as good as she is. Yes, again, she needs to improve on her shots around the rim and sort of taking her time and finishing through contact and all that stuff. Yes. But she is playing way better than I ever thought she was going to play, especially as a rookie. What she is doing, not just in rebounding the ball, it's the hustle. It's the hustle factor. Yes, she does take plays off sometimes. She does. But overall, it feels like she has more want to, more hustle, more leadership than anybody else on this team. Maybe besides Kennedy. There is, when you watch the Chicago Sky team play, when you watch players get really, really frustrated, upset, who comes over to them? Who comes over to them and pulls them away? Who comes over them to talk to them? Who does that? It's Angel. Did y'all see earlier today when Dana and Natisha Heidemann was getting into it a little bit? Who pulled Dana away? Angel. Who talked to when Marina Mabrey was still on the team? When Marina Mabrey had several games of her missing critical free throws at the end of the game. Who talked to her? Angel. When Kennedy kind of goes off the rails sometimes with her frustration on the court, who goes over there, grabs her, gets in her face, talks to her? Angel. There is a leadership quality that this girl has as a rookie. And the way that she gets into her teammates' faces, the way that she calms them down, the way that she pulls them away, the way that she tries to motivate her team, the way that she is always lifting up her team, regardless of the questions that are asked, she always is trying to spin it to talk positively about her team, talk positively about the Chicago Sky. There is a leadership quality in her. There is. It's clear as day. If you watch anything related to the Chicago Sky, and I watch a lot of it. Again, I've watched every single Sky game. I've watched every single Sky game. I've watched almost all of the post game interviews. I watched almost all of the videos of the Sky's practices. I've read most of the articles written about the Chicago Sky. And everything that I have seen, everything that I've heard, tells me that Angel Reese is a bona fide leader. It's not just her rebounding, guys. It's not just her hustle. It's her care. It's the care that she puts into her team. It's the leadership quality that she has as a rookie. And that's going to take her far. Yes, she has stuff that she needs to work on. Absolutely, she does. She does. It's clear as day, she does. But you cannot teach heart. Yeah, you can't teach leadership. You can't. You either got it or you don't. And she has it. She has it. And that's going to help this team in the future to be successful because she has that. You may not like her. You may not like her at all. That's fine. But you have to. I feel like I'm not sure how you can watch the way she leads the team and not see that she's a leader. She just. You may think she's annoying. But she is a straight up leader for this team. And she takes that role on and she seems to take it with pride. And I think she is doing a fantastic job as a rookie. Because guys, remember, she is a rookie. She is a straight up rookie. And she's doing this. So, yeah. I just wanted to say that. Wanted to give her flowers because I think she absolutely has been doing really well. And for those in the comments who are like, oh, you're saying that because you're a Sky fan and you're biased and you want her to win Rookie of the Year and all this other stuff. Guys, no. I say what I see. Yes, I'm a Sky fan. Absolutely. Do I root for Angel Reese? Absolutely. I do. Because she plays for the Chicago Sky. So I want the Sky to win. I want her to be successful. However, I say what I see. And I see that she's a straight up leader. And I see that what she is doing for this team is huge. Yes, it is not translating to wins because the Sky is not a good team. It is not. Yes, they had a better record last year, but also they have 0 starters from last year who are still playing with this team. 0 starters. None of the top scorers for this team is from last year is even on the team anymore. None, guys. This was a complete gut job for this season. Complete gut job. So yes, this team is not very good compared to where they were last year. Makes sense. Brand new team, basically. You only brought over Izzy, Dana, Elizabeth Williams. You traded away Marina Mabrey, right? This is a brand new squad. And there's a lot for them to learn. They suck right now. They do. They absolutely do. And it's okay to say. I think it's okay to say. You don't have any. You don't have the leadership that this team had last year, right? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. In terms of the same personnel that you had last year and what they were able to offer. You have a brand new coach, a coach who is still learning, a coach who is making mistakes every single game. Yes, some of the plays she draws up, suspect a little bit. Some of the rotations that she has, suspect a little bit. But she is learning and growing as time goes on. And I do still believe in Teresa Weatherspoon. I do. I completely believe in her. And I believe that she is the future, the coach of the future for the Chicago Sky team. So I'm saying, guys, give her 2 more years. All right? Give her 2 more years. Give her and Jeff Pagliacca, who is the GM, one of the most active GMs I've ever seen, because he doesn't really act like a GM. He acts like a trainer of sorts for this team. Give them 2 more years to actually build out a team. Now that they're getting a training facility, it seems likely that you're actually probably going to have top talent that actually will want to come here. So come after next season. So we'll have next season, which we should be better, though we won't get that many free agents. Come after next season when the CBA is renegotiated and when the Chicago Sky's facility is up and running, that's the year for the Chicago Sky. That's the year. Because we would have more under our belt in terms of coaching with Teaspoon getting that experience. We will have more years under our belt when it comes to what Camila and Angel are able to do. Hopefully we keep Kennedy. We'll see. And we'll be able to possibly bring in some other players who can make some stuff happen. So that's the thing. Like I think that's really going to help this team. I think that's what's really, really going to help the squad. Sister Noble says, the difference between you and Caitlin's fans is you don't worship the Sky like Caitlin's fans worship her, and the Fever idol worship is at an all-time high in Indiana. Sister Noble, I will say though, I don't think it's just Caitlin's fans, Indiana fans. Like, yeah, you're right. I don't like. I'm a fan of the team, but I don't like. It doesn't do anything to my life or anything if the Sky are successful, Angel Reese is successful. It doesn't do anything, right? I do think that sometimes with sports, especially with sports, it does kind of breed into that idolatry lane. It does breed into that idolatry lane where it's like people are so obsessed with a person, a team, and this is not just a Caitlin thing or Indiana Fever thing. This is not. I have seen people do a similar thing with Angel Reese. People do a similar thing with South Carolina. People do a similar thing with other players and other teams. I don't think that this is like a very specific thing to them. However, idol worship it feels like it's at an all-time high when it comes to basketball, when it comes to women's basketball, and like people just it feels like they're worshiping these players and these teams, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what why are you taking meaning from? Why are you taking sort of like your life's meaning and your life's worth based off of what this random person does on a basketball court or what this team does on a basketball court? Like, why are you serving them in that way? Sure, be a fan, absolutely be a fan, but I don't get it. Like there is a worship. There is a worship that people are giving these athletes and these teams. Like I don't get it. Like, and this is not like yeah. Yeah, I personally think I think it is wild. I think it is absolutely like wild what people are doing, and just like it's like this person or this team is like your everything. Like you're obsessed. You're like anybody who says anything that disagrees with your opinion about this person or this team, you are going all out crazy for it. And I don't get it. Like yeah. Only thing only one I worship is God. That's it. That's it. But people have made sports their God. People have made sports a religion, and I don't understand it. Like I don't, you know. No, I worship Jesus. That's it. I'm not. I don't worship Caitlin Clark. I don't worship Angel Reese. I don't worship the WNBA. I don't worship sports. No, sports didn't save me. Didn't. Caitlin can't do nothing for my eternal soul. Angel can't do nothing for that. WNBA can't do nothing. Football can't do nothing. I think there is a it feels like it's turning into a religion. And it's being festered, and it's growing on social. It's growing on YouTube. It's growing on Twitter, where this is reoccurring worship and people giving these mantras about these players and these teams and all this stuff. And I'm just like, we are celebrating idolatry. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't get it. I don't have a favorite fan. Have a favorite fan. That is a favorite team. That is not a problem. Not a problem at all. Go to your team's games. Celebrate that stuff. Not a problem. But the way that things are going right now, it is absolutely wild. There's a level of idolatry and worship and honoring of these people and teams that is absolutely not called for a human being. Because one, they're human. You're gonna get failed every single time if you rely on humans for your meaning for life. Humans suck, man. There's a thing called sin. There's a thing called the human condition. We suck. So if you putting all your meaning and whatnot into flesh and blood, you screwed every single day. So it's a whole thing. Me and my mama have talked about it before, and we were like, man, it's like people are worshiping these players. I don't get it. If you feel like, if you listen to this and you're like, man, am I too deep into this? Am I worshiping these players and these teams? Maybe you should take a step back. Seriously, take a step back. Because they didn't die for you. They didn't die for you. All right? They didn't. And even if they did, they cannot they cannot take on your sins. They can't do any of that stuff. Only one person ever did that. All right? So I'm just saying. I'm just saying, like be a fan, be a huge fan. Let's go. Be a huge fan. That's not my problem. There is a certain level to this that is going to the insane. And I just think it's an issue. I do. I think it's an issue. But people will do whatever they want to do. And yeah, and this is, please hear me clearly. This is not me saying that if you love Caitlin Clark, that you worship her. That is not me saying that at all. No, I know of some massive Caitlin Clark fans. I know some massive ones that love Caitlin Clark, but they don't worship her. They don't get their meaning from her. They don't. Their life's work is not meant to elevate her, right? It's not, right? There is a difference. There is a difference between being a massive fan and worshiping somebody. There's a difference. You can like sort of like give honor to people and whatnot, and that's great. But when it comes down to the excessive reverence, the excessive obsession, where you are spending so much time like on that one thing that you don't focus on the actual reason that you were created, the actual reason why we're all created, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So, I'm gonna go off this. I'm gonna go off the soapbox. But yeah, like idol worship is real. Like, seriously, it's real. And yeah, and no, this is not just a Caitlin Clark thing. It's not actually. So for those who are going to say that in my comments, you're wrong. That's not what I believe. All right. Thank you very much. Sorry for that. I don't even know who comment. I have no idea who comment just spurred all that on, but yeah, those are my thoughts about that. Pete, thanks so much for the super chat. Says, is it a chance we can get rid of Bannum and Jefferson's salary and the expansion draft? We cannot get rid of the expansion draft. The expansion draft is happening regardless of if you like it or not, because the reason why it's happening is because we have a new team joining the WNBA next season, the Golden State Valkyries. So there will be an expansion draft. Now, your question about can we get rid of Rachel Bannum and Mariah Jefferson, I assume you mean at the end of the season, meaning not re-signing them for next season. And for that, I believe that Rachel Bannum is on a protected contract until the end of 2025. All right. She's on a protected contract until 2025. So is Mariah Jefferson. So the Chicago Sky have them for another year. Now, it is possible that when the expansion draft happens, that the Chicago Sky does not put Rachel and Mariah on their sort of protected list. All right. And then they can get picked up. So I will be making a video about this in the future, but there, for the expansion draft, there's a certain set number of players who you can allocate and say, these are my protected players. This expansion team, no, you cannot take this player. Everybody else, fair game. But these select players, I believe it's like 6 or something like that. But I'm gonna make a separate video about it. But there's a select number of people that, like, you can say, don't take this person, don't take this person, don't take this person, don't take this person. And the rest of those players can absolutely get drafted. So it's possible that we lose both of them in the expansion draft if the Chicago side decides not to sort of put a pin on them. But yeah, it depends. But I do have I will make a video about that to sort of talk through that. 3 Diglets, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, my Indiana Fever coming for that 5th spot. They are. Yeah, 3 Diglets, your team is doing well. I mean, the Fever are doing fantastic, to be honest with, like, they're doing fantastic. Yeah, absolutely. 3 Diglets also says, I got Caitlin Clark tattooed on my butt. Let's freaking go, Fever. 3 Diglets, you are hilarious. You are hilarious, 3 Diglets. Okay. Rosalind, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, can you please do a show on the business of the WNBA, new CBA, free agency, etc.? Thanks. Your commentary is balanced and on point. Keep doing this. I can't wait to see how far you go. Go Quita. Well, thank you so much, Rosalind. And that is a fantastic suggestion. I will do that. Yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion. What I'll probably do is I think I'll opt to do that either once the regular season is over or after the playoffs. The reason why is because I feel like we'll get to the point where people are like really wondering, okay, well, what's next? Like, what does the future have to offer for the WNBA? What does the business of the WNBA look like? Also, I feel like in about a month or so, we should have the answer about the expansion draft from the league. They are still sort of mum's the word right now in terms of like final details about the expansion draft. And so I should have more information on that pretty soon. So Rosalind, that is a fantastic suggestion. I am not probably going to make that video until the season's over, the regular season's over, at least. Maybe even further out than that, because there's just a couple more details that we are still waiting to hear about, especially when it comes to the expansion draft. But that's a great suggestion, and I will add that to my future list for sure. I'm a pink devil. What an interesting name. Thank you so much for the super sticker. It is a video game controller that evolves into a muscled version of itself under the word LVL plus. Okay. I really do appreciate that so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Really, really cool. Ice, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, preach you telling the truth. Love your channel. Well, I appreciate it, Ice. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the support so much, guys. I really do appreciate y'all rocking with me. Guys, if y'all could, please subscribe to the channel. I make content all about women's basketball. I make content all about women's basketball. That's my thing. That's what I love to do. That's not all I do, but that's what I do on this channel. That's what I do primarily on my front-facing internet self. But anyway, that's me. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Guys, I do know that the Fever won. However, as they were wrapping up the game, I hopped onto the live stream, so I don't know exactly how the end of that game went. I'm gonna go and watch that, and I will decide if I want to go back live later today to do a recap of that game, or whether or not I just want to leave it be. We'll see. They did beat the Dallas Lynx. It was a very, very close game. Very, very close game. But ultimately the Fever did get the W, and guys, they're riding a new ship. They're riding a new ship. For the Minnesota Lynx, they do win today's game. Definitely not their best game, but they're fantastic, and they did get the dub. 79-74. While the Minnesota Lynx are rolling, they are not the best team in the W right now. The Minnesota Lynx actually is in third place. So we have the New York Liberty, who are currently in first place in the dub. We have Connecticut Sun number 2, and we have Minnesota Lynx number 3. The Las Vegas Aces number 4, Seattle Storm number 5, and the Indiana Fever number 6. They are 16-16 on the season. 500 for the Indiana Fever. They have won 7 of their last 10 games, and it is pretty cool to see. The Phoenix Mercury are at number 7. They're also at 500 on the season. The Chicago Sky are in the 8th place spot, barely hanging on. And the Atlanta Dream are at that 9 spot. The Chicago Sky have lost their last 6 games. The Atlanta Dream have lost their last 4 games. And we will see ultimately who wins this battle of who's going to get that 8th spot. Is it going to be the Chicago Sky? Is it going to be the Atlanta Dream? I feel like it's probably going to be the Atlanta Dream, though I will say that the Dallas Wings are trying their best to possibly salvage this season. The Dallas Wings are trying their best. We're going to see, though. We are absolutely going to see if they could possibly eke out a spot in the playoffs. They're in 10th place right now for the Dallas Wings. They're trying. And I thought, and this game would have really helped them. If they would have been able to win today's game against the Fever, it really would have helped them. It really, really, really would have helped them. But guys, I appreciate y'all support so much. Appreciate the love. Guys, women's basketball is great. I love women's basketball, but it should not be your entire life. All right? It should not be your entire life. It should not be the thing that you ascribe your meaning from. Sure, women's basketball is entertainment, guys. It is entertainment. It is entertainment. It is entertainment. All right? This is not... this is entertainment. Just like music is entertainment, sports is entertainment, theater is entertainment, you know. Going to the movie theater is entertainment. It's all entertainment. So while we can be very passionate, while we can love the teams that we watch, the players we watch, there should be a separation between entertainment and, I want to say real life, but real life may not be the right word, but yeah, there's it's entertainment, guys. All right, so that's about it. Let's see. Carmela says, Quita, how many games do you think the Sky need in order to keep their spot? I think they need to win at least 4 to solidify their spot. Well, it really does. It really does depend on what the others do. The Chicago Sky. Let's just go through. Let's just go through. How many games they have left and who they're playing. Because I think they do have a tough road. I do think they have a tough road. So they play the Aces on, what was that, Tuesday, I think? They play the Aces on Tuesday. Then they play the Sparks, then the Wings, then the Mystics, then the Lynx, then the Mercury, Dream, and the Sun to finish out the season. So I will say that they need to win against the Sparks, the Wings, the Mystics, the Dream. Oh, okay. I agree with you then. Yeah, 4. I agree with you then. I agree. They need to win 4 at a minimum. They need to win 4. Golden says, I'm a fan of your YouTube, but you have this wrong. Angel and the Chicago Sky are guilty of allowing the stat padding to go on. Why couldn't Camila go in? I don't know if Golden, I am not sure how much you know about the Sky, Camila, Angel, but the thing to note is Camila Cardoso gets gassed. She does. She gets gassed, and Angel Reese does not get gassed as much. And so that's why if you have to put one in garbage minutes when you basically lost, and you got to have a starting post player in the game because Izzy isn't coming in, you're going to put in Angel. You're going to leave in Angel because Camila's probably going to get tired. And that's not a issue of stat padding. That's just, okay, well, let's just leave Angel in because let's give Camila some rest. Let's leave Angel in. Like, I don't think that's a... So I guess my question is, Golden, for your comment, I guess, would you also say it's stat padding if they left Camila in? They had to leave one in. So they made the decision to leave Angel in that Fever game. So I guess so if Camila was in, do you think it's not stat padding? Just because a player that you wanted to go in was in? I don't know. I don't think the logic makes a ton of sense, personally. I don't think the logic makes a lot of sense. So yeah. When it comes to Camila and Angel, Um, Angel can last in the game a little bit longer. It's not a slight at Camila. It's just, to me, I just think it's a fact. I think it's a fact. So yeah. That's the thing. All right. So yeah, that's my commentary. TNG, they chose not to. They chose not to. I think it's because Izzy wasn't feeling well. I think that's what it was, because she was just on the bench. She acted like she wasn't coming back in the game. We all figured she wasn't coming back in the game. And so, it sort of is what it is. And even in today's game, Izzy barely played. I think Izzy does not have COVID, clearly, because if she did, she wouldn't be with the team. But Izzy clearly is having some sort of respiratory thing, or something is going on. Something is going on. All right? Because in the Fever game, she barely played, had the mask on. In today's game, against the Lynx, she only played 4 minutes. And yes, does Teaspoon want to play Izzy more? Absolutely. I think maybe something is going on. And will the Chicago Sky tell us? No, they won't. This is the team that they will tell the media barely anything. So we won't find out if there really is something going on. We won't know, because they'll say, "Oh, we all fine. We're okay. We're fine. We're working it out. We're fine." That's basically what they're gonna say. So there is something clearly happening with Izzy, and that's why she hasn't been playing. So, you can disagree with me, but I kind of feel like we just stated what we knew. So, and the thing is, the Chicago Sky, unlike any other team, they will never tell us anything. They won't. Mum's the word for the Chicago Sky. If y'all have seen their press conferences, y'all know that they don't say nothing. They don't say nothing. Don't give us nothing to work with. Nothing to really work with. El McCoy says, it's none of our business. That's their health info unless it's COVID. I mean, yeah. But, yeah. But ultimately, teams do whatever they want. Yeah. If they want to tell us, they'll tell us. If they don't, they don't. But this guy won't tell us anything. And that, I mean, as a nosy person, sure, would I like to know? Sure. But at the end of the day, they say whatever they want to say. And then we find out or we don't find out. Maybe a reporter finds out something and they report it. And if not, then not. Ultimately, it's fine either way. Like, it's not it's sort of like whatever. But yeah, I am curious and I do want to know. All right. Let's see. Anything else? Lance says Camila with a K, should be with a K, should be in the game longer than Angel Reese. She's a better player. I don't care what nobody says. I mean, yeah, they play different positions. I think that Camila probably should be in the game just as long as Angel, if not more than Angel. But the thing is, they both play a ton of minutes. I think that Camila is sort of like, she's the post player, man. She is the post player of the future for this team. Angel right now plays that 4 role. Ultimately, I want her to move into that 3 role. I think that once she develops more of a shot, more of a consistent shot, and she works on her dribbling a little bit more, that she can turn into that 3 type of player. And so, that's sort of my thoughts on that front. But yeah, I love what Camila is doing for this team, and she's a great passer. I think Camila is very comfortable with her back to the basket. I think that she is a player that can develop into the 22 points a game type of player. Like that's Camila Cardoso. She is sort of the big woman for the Chicago Sky in the future. Now, Angel Reese, I think she's a really good 4 right now. That's what she plays. She plays the power forward position, and she's doing her thing on the rebounding front. But ultimately, for the Chicago Sky to be successful, you have to continue to move Angel Reese away from the basket. Because sometimes it does get a little bit too crowded when both Camila and Angel are in. I still do love when they play together because I think they look for each other and can pass the ball to each other. They're the best passers to each other in terms of feeding the post when a post player does it. And I think that if Angel can continue to develop a more consistent shot, you're able to create more spacing, which allows this team to do a lot more. It allows them to do a whole lot more if she can just step a little bit further away from the basket. Now, for right now, it's fine. But it is critical. When she's playing an Unrivaled, which is going to help her a lot. I think it's going to help her. When she plays an Unrivaled, you got to step out, and eventually turn into a player who can play the small forward position or just be a stretch 4. Yeah, Shelter K. I think a stretch 4 would be perfect. If she can turn into like a Nafisa Collier type player, right, an Asia Wilson type player, a Brianna Stewart type player, a player who is a player who can play the post, like a traditional post if they need to, but a player who is just as comfortable stepping out mid-range jumper, stepping out three-point shot, a player who can take the ball down the court, which Angel can do, but with a certain precision about it, right? That's what she needs to develop into. And I think that Unrivaled will help her. That's my hope. Because she has a ton of raw talent. She does, guys. She has a ton of raw talent. It just a little, some stuff just needs to get refined. That's it. It needs to get refined. And I'm hopeful that in the offseason that's what she does. Angel does a lot, right? She has a podcast. She's a celebrity, I think she's a model, right? Did she model in some stuff or whatever? Like she's done that stuff, right? But she's also a basketball player that wants to work. And I think she's going to do it. I think even though she's going to be crazy busy in the offseason doing a whole bunch of stuff, I think she is going to make steps to turn into that sort of Nafisa Collier type player. Like, because I really do. To me, that's the goal. That's, in my opinion, if I had a chance to talk to Angel Reese, I would say, Angel, watch everything Nafisa Collier does. Watch everything that girl does, and that's your ramp. That is your ramp. You are great where you are. You are. But if you refine it a little bit, slow it down a little bit, step out, shoot with confidence. Oh, that is your man. Can you imagine a natural rebounder the way that she is? A natural just sort of engine that Angel Reese is, but with the skill set and the finesse of Napheesa Collier, dude, she would be unstoppable. Unstoppable. I'm just saying, like, and it's perfect because it seems like them two really like each other. It seems like after the game, they were talking to each other. I'm telling you, if Angel can watch Napheesa's game, get mentored by Napheesa Collier, because they're going to be in Unrivaled together. If that can happen, sky's the limit. Like, it is absolutely possible for Angel to be a MVP caliber player. Absolutely possible. If she can step away and get into Napheesa's bag a little bit. Dude, I'm just saying, sky's the limit. And I think it'll help Camila even more because Camila will have even more space to work. Camilla's doing fantastic as she is, absolutely. But if Camila had even more space to work, and the post wasn't as clogged as it kind of is right now, yeah, Camilla's 20, 22, 25 points a game, like, easy. Cause she has kind of like the footwork. Yeah, she needs to develop more on her footwork, but she has the making of a legendary post player. Camila Cardoso does right now. She does. It's just that develop a little bit more on the footwork, and make your team give you the ball in positions where you're going to be successful. Make them do it. Because clearly you calling for the ball sometimes ain't working. They act like they don't see you. And that's going to help when this guy do get a new point guard, right, next year. I think that'll help. When either they draft a point guard or they get someone from free agency or something like that. So, yeah. So yeah, that's a thing. That's basically it. Seasmo says Camila is much more polished than Reese. Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I feel like that's I don't know. I feel like most people would have that comment. Yeah, I do think she's more polished than Angel. Yeah, she does. She is. Oh yeah, Bree Jones is fantastic too. Yeah, Bree Jones's footwork is her footwork is fantastic, y'all. Y'all watch Brianna Jones of the Connecticut Sun. Her footwork is really, really good. Her concentration at the basket is really, really good as well. So I'm just saying, I think that'd be cool. Yeah, Bree Jones is great, and Bree Jones isn't even tall. Like, she's not even tall. You know. She's not even tall. She's 6'3". Bree Jones is not tall. She's the same height as Angel, you know. And if Camila could get some more of that footwork, at 6'7", you better watch out. But anyway, guys, I have talked way longer than I expected. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me. And make sure to hit that like button on y'all way out. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Guys, I make content all about women's basketball, so if that is your thing, y'all can please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. Guys, I will talk to you all very, very, very soon. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Bye.